Welcome back to Abilene People, the podcast here on BigCountryHomepage.com, where we talk to Abilene's most interesting people. And today, we certainly have a really interesting guy, Dash Albus. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you're born and raised in Abilene.
Oh, yeah.
But you are now a professional baseball player with the Fireflies of Columbia, South Carolina, and the Kansas City Royals organization.
There you go.
And we'll get there. But you, I want to know about your family. Where are you from? You're from Abilene, but where are you from in the sense of your family? And then, what else you want to say about your family?
They're a bunch of crazy people. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, you start off with the headline.
Yeah.
We need to make sure, Travis, to mark that clip and put that one out on social.
If you know my grandma, I mean, she's got a different hat on every time you see her. And I don't know. Actually, I do know where she puts all of them, but
I've always wondered.
You've never seen her in the same hat.
I've always wondered, how does Donna Albus store so many hats?
It's good. It's a good question. It's a pile pretty high.
So your grandma is Donna Albus, who has recently left serving on the Abilene City Council, but longtime Abilene City Councilwoman, longtime Abilene civic volunteer. And then your dad is?
Damon Albus, 5D custom hats and leather. Doing that for going on 30 years now.
And great guy. And I think he makes hats for really famous people and high-end kind of stuff that people don't really realize, right?
Yeah. Hat business is pretty niche, so it's if you want one.
Am I spilling the beans that I shouldn't spill if I say something like your dad does hats for like Lucchese boots? Like if somebody orders, those bazillion-dollar boots, they might actually also get a complimentary high-end hat.
I wish it worked
made
like
right here in Abilene, something like that.
Yeah, I wish it worked like that. But no, Dad, they anyways, he's good friends with a rep there, and he got the hat deal going, and so it's in all their boutiques. Cool. So if you get a hat from there, it's
so you played Little League baseball, then you played JUCO or high school baseball. What high school did you go to?
Wylie High School.
And were you pretty good in high school baseball?
I think I was all right.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
But in high school baseball, did you think, you know what, I'm going to be a pro baseball player?
I wanted to, and I was like, it's kind of a dream. It's not really a reality at that point.
That's fair enough.
Didn't throw the hardest, wasn't the biggest.
Yeah. So then you went to a JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
You went like East Texas somewhere or something?
Yeah, they call it Central Texas, which I don't agree with that at all. Temple, Texas. So it's out in the hill country.
Okay, Temple. And then you came back home and played for 1 or 2 years for Abilene Christian.
1 year here.
And then how does it happen that do you go to a tryout, or do they call you and say, we'd like for you to come to training camp? Because it was the Kansas City Royals organization.
Yeah. So I was a junior, so that's my first year eligible to get drafted. And so at that point, you're not really getting invited to workouts like you would be if you were like a senior or really trying to get in front of them. They saw me at Globe Life. And then they send in a questionnaire on this app, MLB app. You fill it out, and then they just kind of keep watching you and keep an eye on you.
What do you mean like at Globe Life? Like a tryout kind of a thing at Globe Life?
We opened up with OSU at Globe Life, and the scouts were there to definitely watch OSU.
Okay, so you played a game at Globe Life.
Yeah, yep, okay. Exactly.
All right.
Yep. They were there to watch OSU, and I guess I kind of stole their attention a little bit.
Because I got approached by a scout once at Globe Life. Yeah, I was in line and got that really big hot dog. He goes, man, that's impressive. This is the kind of guy we need.
Yeah.
So, okay. So they see you, they want to communicate. You start communicating. When do you hear, and by the way, you're a left-handed pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And so left-handed pitchers are pretty desirable commodity in the baseball world, right?
Yeah.
So how do you hear that they are continuing this pursuit, and then it becomes some kind of mutual relationship where you say, yeah, I'm interested, and then you sign something at some point? How's all that happen?
Really, they say, do you want to get drafted? And you say yes, of course. Over the phone calls.
Really? Seriously? That's the question? Do you want to get drafted?
The first question I got by every team that was like, would you want to get drafted this year? Well, duh. Yeah. I think that's it.
Huh.
Yeah. Because there's some people that don't. I don't understand that. But But anyways, they have to ask
okay,
that.
I see. So if a guy doesn't want to get drafted, he wants to play one more year to improve his stock or something,
Yeah.
he might say, "Don't draft me," because I'm going to say no.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm tracking with you.
Yeah. And you say yes, then they keep talking, and yeah, I mean, you don't really find out until your name's called if they're going to pick you up or if they're not.
So that's how. And is that baseball draft moment there something that you can watch online, or are you listening to it somehow, watching it on one of the ESPN channels? How does that work?
So everybody sees the first, I think it's 5 rounds is on TV, but after that it goes on to an online MLB.com or whatever, and so it does like a call out of all the guys that are drafted. And I mean, actually, I'm on a cruise ship with the wife and her family, and just hanging out, and I'm thinking it's not going to happen. And one of my best friend calls me or texts me. He's like, "Dude, you got drafted." I was like, "What are you saying? What are you kidding me?" And then I look and I get a text right there, and it's like, "You just got drafted by the Royals." Cool. Okay.
How long you been married?
Almost a year now.
So you're
December,
on a cruise with your young wife, new bride, her family.
We weren't yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you were engaged.
Dating at that point.
So you're dating, and you on that cruise, you get a word that you've been drafted.
Yep.
That's got to be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, and I was kind of stressed out about the Wi-Fi and all that, and because I don't have service, we're in the middle of the Gulf, and yeah, really stressing where the Wi-Fi is at, and anyway, yeah.
That's really fun. So did you go and tell the captain, "Hey, you want to sit at my table tonight because I just got drafted"?
Yeah. No, I should have. No.
And so you get drafted, you have some period of time, you get home from the cruise, some period of time before you figure things out. Where do you go? What do you do? Do you because I think you would have reported a couple of weeks after all the big league players.
So that'd be
playing the bigs
for spring training, correct?
I'm so sorry. Yes, for spring training. So what happened between drafting and spring training?
So right after you get drafted, you're on a flight the next day. And so luckily it's all from God himself. It was the last day of the cruise is we're docking at like 6 a.m. And so I've got to be off the boat from Corpus Christi back on into Abilene to pick up my stuff on a flight and to Dallas that leaves at like 3:30 that afternoon. So it was pretty bang bang. What
happened, Dash, if you can't make that flight? I mean, you're not totally out of luck, right?
Yeah, no, they'll just move it back the next day or whatever. But it's like, this is your flight. Get there if you can.
That's crazy. And where'd you fly to?
Into Arizona. So we fly into Arizona and go to Surprise.
Okay, is that in Surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we share with the Rangers, and then you're out there for 3 months, and then you get your off season, and then you asked about spring training. So yeah, we report 2 weeks after the big league, all the big league guys. And yeah, it's 6 weeks of baseball.
Before I'm going to go back to that 3 months. What is that essentially? Like a boot camp or something kind of deal for everybody who got drafted? Welcome
to it. This is your life now.
Did you have any buddies there at all, or no? You didn't know anybody?
I'm really bad at knowing who we're playing, or it's probably important it is important as a pitcher to know who the guy you're facing is. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get you out. And so to me, I try to go as brain dead as I can. I don't really care who you are.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I had known of like Jack Caglione. He was our number 1 draft pick. I had known of him, Florida baseball. But other than that, no, didn't know a single guy.
So does it take long to hit it off with the guys? And because you're all thrown in the same aquarium, right?
Oh yeah.
And by that time, it don't really matter if you're the number 1 pick in the first round or the number, whatever pick in the, I don't know how many rounds are there now?
24 rounds.
So you're all kind of equals.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you kind of pick out I think the Royals do a really good job of getting good people. I've heard from other guys on other teams like, oh, there's some guys that aren't, too good of people or whatever.
You mean character
wise?
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And so like all the guys on the Royals, I mean, we're all real good buds. I mean, there was no butting heads or no egos that were really
a lot of Latin players.
Yeah.
Okay, mostly Latin players even.
It's probably
Pardon me.
It's probably half and half. I mean, American to Latin guys. Yeah.
All right. So then you go back for spring training, and at some point in there, you did get married. Is that right? Or you're not married yet?
Yep. Got engaged, yesterday, a year ago, and then got married in December. So engaged for 3 months. So pretty quick.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how my wife and I did it way back, way back in another century. Yeah. That we had a very short engagement. And that was fun. Not a lot of pressure.
Oh, exactly.
Because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people, particularly like the bride and the mom of the bride, get a little uptight about weddings, and they have a certain vision. So if you get that behind you quick, it's a good deal.
Well, and so the wife had known that we were going to get married. And so she had already had the full wedding planned, and everything was planned before we were even engaged. And so there was no, what about this? What about this? It's like, this is how it is.
This is gold. You're telling me you guys had already planned it out, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smart
guy.
guy.
You better be careful. You're
smart guy.
I could step away. I'm not.
And is your wife from Abilene?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you've known her for a long time. Yeah. Would you consider yourselves childhood sweethearts?
No, we went to the same high school, and I never said a single word to her. I think she says the one thing I did nice for her. We're going to winter formal, and she was going.
Wait. I want to say that again. The one thing you did nice for her.
Well, not that.
This is gold, Dash. This is pure gold.
One thing I said to her, but I didn't even say it, was just an action. She was going with my best friend to winter formal, and I opened the door for her, and I was like, "Oh, this is how you treat a girl." Or
nice.
And
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just curious. Did you kind of have your eye on her then, or no?
Kind of, but not really.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. And then went to JUCO, and then about that second year, I was like, well, let's try this. And so I hit her up on a Instagram DM or a Snapchat or whatever.
Nice.
It's like, hey, what's up? And then we went to Fuzzies and
that's so
hit
great.
it off.
That's so great. Okay. So let's go back. Not that it's more important, but let's go back to baseball.
Yeah.
And so then you go to spring training, and you get there, like you say, a little bit after the guys who've already made it to the bigs. Mm-hmm. They're there. Who is the first big baseball star you saw in person that you thought, oh my gosh, that's so and so? Do you remember that moment or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you do.
Well, so I'd seen Michael Lorenzen was the first guy I saw, and so he just got his 10 years this year. So he's been in the league, and I watched him with the Reds, and I'm a huge Trevor Bauer fan, and so they were on the same team, and so I kind of knew of him. And I see him working out, and he is just an absolute specimen. And I'm like, that is a big leaguer. And so I saw him, and I was like, well, okay, that's your competition. That's what you're striving to be. And then I saw Bobby doing an Under Armour commercial, which is crazy, but saw him out there on the field doing that. And then Vinny, he's our big first baseman.
Witt?
Bobby Witt. Oh yeah.
Shortstop for the Kansas City Royals.
Yep.
So you saw Bobby Witt Jr. doing a Under Armour commercial on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. That's kind of different.
It's neat when he needs the weight room, they shut it down. It's like, you've made it. You're that guy. You're that important. We'll shut it down for you. And so he shut down the weight room and did his commercial in there, and we had to push our stuff back a little bit because you're paying him a lot of money. So
nice guys.
Oh yeah,
for the most part.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't met a single person where I wouldn't want to like hang out with him after baseball.
So Dash, is it assumed that if you're drafted and you go to the training camp and through that process, it's assumed that you're going to get assigned, right? Or is there a fear that you could get cut?
So there's always that fear. There's 20 guys that are drafted, and then there's however many free agents after that. And so that's 20 guys that are going to take 20 guys' spots that are already there, that have already gone through the full draft and everything. And so either you're not good enough to be on that team, or once you do get to that team, you got 20 guys coming in after you. So there's always that fear on I don't know how you would say that, but that's behind you. It's always kind of creeping up.
And had you ever heard of the Class A Columbia Fireflies before you got word that's where you were headed?
So kind of. We have it's a wall, and so it does all the players of the year for each level. And so you walk through it and you see the 4 different levels. And so I'd known of the team. Obviously it's an affiliate, so a lot of our guys had played there. But yeah, I didn't know I was going to go there or anything until about a week before we hop on the plane and go.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just I'm thinking of, you're younger than my kids. I'm just thinking of my kids and the experiences when like when we took our son to California and left him at Pepperdine University, or my daughter goes to Oxford to study. You think, holy cow, I feel homesick.
Yeah.
As a parent, you feel homesick. I had to be a lot of that going on,
Mm-hmm.
both in you and, and by now you're married, right? And, and you've got in-laws and you got your folks. I don't know. I want to get past this part of the conversation as soon as possible. And I'm still fascinated with it. Was there some of that? Like, oh, wow, going to Columbia.
Oh, yeah.
Where? Oh yeah. South Carolina. That's a long way away.
So it hits in Arizona. And you're like, man, I'm far away right now. Cause I've never left Texas to play school ball or to be away for a long period of time. And so FaceTime calls that's such a blessing to see their faces and talk to them daily. But yeah, you just know that you're here for this 6 months. So buckle up. You're not going home.
And so you get married. I'm again fascinated by this. She has to know at some level that she's also entering into this world. Did she go to South Carolina with you? And
so she had to finish up her senior year. She graduated in May. We had been married in December, so she's finishing in May. And then I had already been in Carolina for a month at that point. And then I'm like, come on, you're not staying home. I'm not going to spend 3 more months away from you or however long it was.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. That's so good of y'all, and then, so now you're in South Carolina, you're getting acclimated, you're learning the culture of minor league baseball. Just explain to us the daily routine and how that works. And I don't know, is it, my mental image is, you pack on a bus with a bunch of other dudes and you're on a 3-week road trip. Is it that way still or no?
Not really. Thankfully. So our travel is the easiest of all the levels. Most we're going to travel is 4 hours, but we're going to stay there for 6 days. So we leave Tuesday morning and then we're playing that night. And so thanks to the PA, the Players Association, they made rules and they make regulations to where they have to provide food, housing, hotels, and 2 buses. And so we all get a row, and thankfully it's good buses, and the whole process this is the best time to be a minor league baseball player versus the past.
So the Players
years.
Associations paved the way for you to have a different experience than you see in movies or old school conversations with the old timers. Very different. That's cool. Yeah.
And it changed in 23. So it's very new, this whole process.
All right. So let's say you're playing a home game or a home stand. What is your routine? What do? You go to the stadium and warm up, work out, and think I'm going to do an Under Armour commercial with Bobby Witt. How does that
one
work?
day, I hope. So it's very important to sleep, and we're finishing games at like 11. And so if you're on a sleep schedule where you're going into bed or you're in bed at 10:30, well, you're just going to be messed up. So I'm probably in bed asleep by midnight, and then I'm not waking up until probably 9. So I'm not getting to the field until we have report times, but 1:30 to 2:30 is typical. And so I'll show up at 1:30. Then we stretch, we go into the training room, have to do that every day, do our movement prep, getting our muscles right, and get your workout in. Then you throw, then you come back in and do some more treatment. Then you're playing a game by 7:05.
Now, is all of that familiar to you, or were there new levels of intensity introduced at the professional level?
So it's not new. The treatment aspect and the throwing before and all that, but it's the necessity of it is so much different. Where it's like in college, okay, go see the trainer and do this, do that. It's like, I don't feel like it. I'm not going to do it today. And then once you get there, well, you're playing 130 games a year. You need to go into the training room, and so you're just in there every day, versus the maybe twice a week.
Now,
And
Dash, are you a middle reliever or a starter or a closer? What are you exactly? Because I've read some of your stats, and it's you list like this. You just finished your first year.
Mhm.
You won a bunch of games. You saved a few. So how does that work? What do you do?
I am classified as a relief pitcher, left-handed relief pitcher. So I won't start a game and go more than 3 innings. They drafted guys to do that. But if, say, a guy goes down, say a guy's not feeling good, well, we need a reliever to you call it open a game. And so I was an opener a few times. I was coming in the 4th inning sometimes when the starters were leaving or struggling, and closing a few games out.
And there's a legend already about you, because you had an immaculate inning where you struck out 3 guys on 8 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how that works.
Yeah, if you're a math guy, that doesn't math.
Yeah. Wait a second. Wait, what?
Yeah. So they introduced the pitch clock, and so I have 15 seconds to throw a pitch, but the hitter has to be in the box ready to hit by 8 seconds. So the clock starts at 15, and I had thrown 7 straight. Struck 2 guys out, and we're on that 0-2 count, and he's not in the box ready to go by 8 seconds. He calls him a strike, and he's out, and 8 pitches are thrown.
That is so odd.
Yeah.
That has to be a statistical rarity.
Yeah.
It has to be. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I watched that inning, and looked to me like you had fantastic movement to the inside of the plate. Is that kind of your deal? Is that what you're really good at?
Always working on something. But I don't know what was going on, because typically I'm going to be like away or top of the zone. But we had been working on going in, and I had thrown a day earlier, the day before, or maybe 2 days. But anyways, but we usually have 2 days off. And so he calls me down, and he's like, get Albus moving. Well, I was like, really? And so I have the walkie, because I'm bullpen coach at that point. And I go, are you serious? He goes, yep. All right. And so I get 5 pitches in the bullpen, and everything just worked out perfectly, what we were working
Weird.
on. And
It happens sometimes, huh?
Yep.
So that's all you get is 5 pitches in the bullpen.
that time, yeah, it was pretty bang, bang, quick. Let's go.
But are you in that moment? Are you already pretty loose, or do you think, oh boy, I've got to really get this going here?
It worked out right before the game, so I was a little stiff from that. And yeah, it was like one of those days where I'm like, this is going to be a struggle. And got on the mound, and I felt really good.
That weird.
It's not typical at all. It was that one day out of the 30 that you're going to feel good.
Was that a home
Mhm,
game?
mhm.
So the fans had to be appreciative, thinking, man, this guy, he just struck out 3 guys on 8
It was
pitches. That's
fun.
pretty cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. So, okay, you're done with your first year. Favorite memories from this year?
Obviously, that we were the first team in the Fireflies. So it used to be the Mets AAA, and then the Royals got, I don't really know what the word is, but now they're the Royals, the Fireflies. And so it was the first year the Fireflies had ever won a playoff spot or gotten into a playoff spot. And so we won the first half. So the season split into 2. And so we won the first half. We had done awful the second half. So we got all of it out in the first, and then made it to playoffs. And it was also the first time we made it to the Carolina League Championship. And so those were good, really fun team accomplishments.
And your big rival, Charleston, or who do you play against?
We played the White Sox the most. I don't know if it technically was the most, but we played them, it felt like, every other week. And so it got a little heated after a while. Benches cleared twice against them, and nothing ever happened from it.
It's baseball, right?
Yeah.
So there have to be moments where you got rocked,
Mhm.
or you gave up a dinger. I'm sure how many did you lose? You lost a couple games.
Yep. think
Has
too.
to. That's a quick turnaround, isn't it? Okay, that's
Yeah.
over. And is that the kind of stuff the coaches say to you if you give something up? They go, "Hey, man, put it in your rearview mirror pretty quick." How does that work?
So I'll tell you my second outing, I had just come off. I was the first one out of the bullpen. Game one opening day, and did really good. Felt good. Anyways, then 2 days later, I'm on the mound again against the same team, and it's ninth inning, bottom of the ninth, and I give up a walk off homer, and that hurt real bad. And
Oh
I was
man,
like, "This sucks. I hate this." And so the coaches are like, "You good? You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And then they're like, "You got 130 more games." It's like, "Yeah, you're right." And then you just like there's no point in dwelling on it. There's no point in sitting on it.
and it literally happens to everybody.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know if Dennis Eckersley was the greatest. He's the greatest in Oakland A's history, but he gave up a World Series game ender to
Mm.
Kurt Russell. No, not Kurt Russell. Not Kurt Russell. Anyway, it has to be. That's embarrassing that I can't think of this. Has to be something that you learn how to mentally have in your head talk to get past.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah. And it starts in Little League. There's no Little Leaguer that probably hasn't been on the mound in the sixth inning that's given up a walk offer. And so there's all these steps that you're taking, and so you're just learning from each experience. That one was just my first professional loss. And so it's a little different stage, but the experience is the same.
Dash, when you go to the ballpark, when you're a little kid, they put a chalk line down and you're mesmerized by that,
Mhm.
and the green grass and all of that, the smell, the sounds, everything. And you just love it, and I guess at some point we all as little kid players get past the newness of it, but we still love it. You still love that stuff
Oh
now
my
that,
gosh, yeah.
yeah.
Even more, because now it's like there's stands and there's lights and there's a big old scoreboard. And I've never played this team before, so that experience is new. I've never seen these guys, or I've never pitched against them. And also the guys I'm playing with, it's a brand new team, and so we're touching the field for the first time together, and it's hard to not feel the newness of baseball every time you step on the field.
Love that. Who's your best buddy on the team? I mean, you don't have to say names, but somebody from somewhere that you knew before. Obviously not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got a couple of good buds on the
Oh
team.
yeah. And we're all pitchers. It's kind of weird, a weird dynamic. Hitters don't really talk to pitchers because they all swear we're weird, and we're
Well, but the pitchers hang out together
together
all
all
the
day.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not a single moment we're not next to each other, and so that can cause some of that not animosity, but the butting heads and whatever. But yeah, no, me and a starting pitcher and a reliever, we were like best buds, because we're just together all the time.
What is your deal? Movement or speed? What?
Definitely. Well, I used to be a movement guy, and I wanted speed, and the speed never came, the velo. And so that's what I'm working on now, is trying to gain that. But really, it's just throwing strikes. I want you to get yourself out, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make you do that. Saves my pitch count at the end of the day.
In the off season, where are you working out?
So it's a new place here. It's called Hyperthrive Athletics, and it's a new place, and they got a strip of turf and some weights and a weight room. It's everything you need.
I see your ball cap, DA. I'm assuming
Mhm.
that's Dash Albus.
Yeah, it's
Is that your?
Driven Athletics, but it's also my initials. Yeah, so it's fun.
I think that I claim that for Dash Albus.
There you
I
go.
think it's a great
Do that.
brand for you. I think it's. I just assumed it
Fun.
was your brand.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, and so cool unis there for the Fireflies, or and then what was that like when you first got your uniform with Albus
Yeah.
stitched on the back?
So I didn't get Albus, sadly.
What?
In Arizona, they do put Albus on it, so that's fun. My first jersey was number 85 with Albus on the back. That was cool. But then once you get to the affiliate ball, you're
So they don't have names on the back of the
no,
jersey.
you're a number.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's in the Yankees tradition.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Good for you. Kudos.
we can grow our beards out. I can't, because I can't grow a
Yeah,
beard to
well,
save my
you know.
life. But yeah, no, I step on the field, or I step in the locker room and it's a neon green jersey. I'm like, this is the first time I've ever done this. And then we have one that's white and orange, and it's the grits. And I've never had grits in my life, and this is weird.
Because you have different names sometimes based
Mhm.
on sponsorships or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so like now the big leagues are doing the City Connect, and so that's kind of our version of a City Connect. What is that region known for? And so there's one that's the boiled peanuts, and then there's the oat milkers, and yeah, all kinds of crazy names. But
And do you guys there at the home ballpark do the funny classic minor league sponsored things where people are always doing stuff in between innings
oh yeah,
and all?
oh yeah.
Okay. Do you pay attention to any of that as a
Try not
player?
to. When they're dancing and stuff, I'm just like, yes, because I've seen it 130 times. I'm like, okay,
But yet you can't look
you
away.
can't, yeah. And like every seventh inning, it's the seventh inning stretch, but the grounds crew, they come and rake the dirt, and they'll do a dance at the first base line and the third base line, and they finish with shaking their butt. And so it's hard not to laugh every time you see it.
So if somebody from Abilene, of course, you don't know where you'll be next year for sure, correct? Is that accurate?
Yep.
You could be in Columbia again, or you
Mhm.
could be anywhere in the organization, I
Yep.
presume, right?
Yep.
You just want to be somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So wherever you are, let's for argument's sake, say it's Columbia, South Carolina again, would that be a disappointment, or would that be just absolutely fine with you because you're going to learn everything you're learning and continue to progress?
Kind of a, I don't know, tough question, because you want to keep going up and you want to keep improving, but I'm putting on a jersey every day. I'm playing what Little Dash wanted to do. So it's hard to feel that why am I not somewhere else? Because I'm getting the opportunity where somebody else isn't.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty mature point of view, really. And somebody coached that into you.
Oh yeah.
Was your dad a big influence and
Oh
a
yeah.
big coach for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was my coach all the way up until high school. And he was at every single thing I ever went to, and he learned just as much as I did. So if I had a question on something, I could ask him, or he had a video on it, or whatever. And just how to be a man.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, you know what? Congratulations to you. You're, as you say, living a dream and obviously doing very well for yourself.
Yep.
And I would imagine that if somebody from Abilene came to the ballpark where you were, now this presumes before, big league security, and before you're closing down the weight room and doing your own commercial.
Yeah.
But if somebody from Abilene came and said, "Hey, Dash Albus, I'm from Abilene, Texas," they would at least get a wink and a nod,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd actually be surprised how many. So every Sunday we have a signing. We stand on the field and we sign. And there was a girl or a lady came by, and her kids signed their stuff. And then she's like, "I'm from Merkel, Texas." I was like, "Are you kidding me? What are you doing here?" And then we kind of had that conversation. And it's like,
Did she know, obviously, to say that, she knew you were from
she knew I was from
Abilene.
Abilene, so the roster has where we're from. So I don't know if she necessarily knew who I was, but she knew where Abilene was. And so it just kind of starts that conversation where it's it's a small world after all. But yeah, no, you say my name, you'll probably get a high five or something.
And so, I guess a couple of last questions, because I'm trying to put myself in the seat of somebody listening to this, thinking, okay, but I want to know this or I want to know that, because it is so fascinating, and you are getting to live a dream of everybody that has ever
Never picked up a ball.
picked up a ball and a bat or a ball and a glove. And then, you're in that part of it as a young married guy with a wife that's a blend of fun and fascination, because what does she do when you're on a road trip, or does she go with you on every road trip? And how does that work? And is that unusual? Are many of the guys on your team married?
No, we are the only American couple that's married. So she went to college for accounting. So she got absolutely blessed with a remote job. And so she loves it. I could not do that, sitting in the apartment for 8 hours a day, sitting on a computer, but she loves it. The travel, we'd be away for a week, and so she'd stay at the apartment. But our last series, we were gone for 2 weeks, and I was like, "Hey, can she come?" And so they forked over they took up the bill, and they they paid for it, and so that was really
Oh,
awesome
that's
from
fun.
the
They did,
Royals
huh?
org. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
But other than that, no, it's a week on, week away. So it's kind of that we never kind of, I guess, what's the phrase, like left the honeymoon phase, because it's like, oh, I'm leaving and I'm
Yeah,
coming back and I'm seeing you, and
yeah,
it
that's
keeps it
fun.
fun, interesting.
Yeah. And it'll be that way for the next 50 years, Dash.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's just, never leave that honeymoon phase.
yeah.
Hey, well, good for you. Are you working on any particular thing right now?
Oh yeah.
And is it speed or what?
So I'm working on velo. If you'll let me plug, I've got something.
Okay, come
So
on.
I've got this driven athletics. It's my goal for Abilene. So all the kids here, me growing up, I could never. There was one place to throw bullpens or one place to work out, and I want to try to bring everything that I've learned through the years. I've done a bunch of remote trainings. I've done a bunch of throwing programs, and I've cultivated a lot of knowledge and supplies. And I just want to teach the guys here. They don't have to go to Dallas. They don't have to go to Houston or whatever. I want to bring it here. And so that's what I'm really trying to do now. Cause I've got off season time, and start doing like some remote training for guys that maybe aren't, or maybe that are in Snyder or Lubbock or a little further travel. But yeah, I write you a program, and this is what I'm doing. This is what you can do. And this is what might improve you.
And when you say write you a program, you mean just tailor make a
No
training
cookie
regimen for a young pitcher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you can't get that now. You can listen to your maybe little league coach or your dad or whatever, but I don't want to be mean, but yeah, if they learned high school and this is what I did, well, let's see what the real professionals are, not me, the professionals, but the guys that do this for a living.
Yeah. Hey, man, you don't have to apologize in the least for being the professional and being able to claim that and say, hey, man, let me share something with you. I learned a lot.
What I mean is like the guys that are doing the training, the throwing programs where you're not going to have to spend the $10,000 bill to go get what they're doing.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of young men in your demographic willing to teach young players and help them who've had the experiences you've had, because and let's not discount it. And I'm glad I thought to ask this before we close. Was JUCO the hardest part of your experience? Was it?
Well,
I've heard a lot of guys say that
I don't want to
JUCO
say
was
absolutely,
tough.
but it has done more preparation work for me than anything else I can.
And is that because of the volume of work?
You're there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and you're either working on the field or you're shagging BP or you're throwing. You can't fill a day of baseball in the 12 hours, but they do it. So it has done so much for me that I didn't even realize until now.
I've heard that before. Yeah. I've talked to other young men who've done JUCO ball, and they said that's the toughest thing.
It's an absolute grind.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, let's bring it to a conclusion this way. What do you think and hope will happen? That you'll get a call and say, okay, Dash, here's our plan, or do you get an email and Dash, here's a contract, and then what time frame? Obviously right now we're still in the bigs,
Mm-hmm.
in the championship series and then the World Series, but what's your timeline?
So right now, I've been off season for 3 weeks now. My personal goal is I want to go to Quad City next year, so that's our high A. And start there, and then
Davenport,
Iowa.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's our high A. It's our second step in the 4-step rungs of the ladder.
By the way, Davenport, Iowa, if somebody was going to make a road trip from Abilene, it's a little bit closer than Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's a little colder though.
It is.
Especially in the early season. I've heard that.
It's a lot. Yeah. I got news for you. I think it's a lot colder. Yeah, but you're just going up to the Midwest instead of all the way out almost to the East Coast.
Yep. And then if we make it to Double A, then it's we're in the Texas League, so then we're playing all the Texas teams, and so that's going to be really fun. But yeah, personally, I just want to throw harder, throw more strikes, and get more guys out. That's it.
And it's a pretty simple way to look at
simple.
It. Throw strikes, get guys out.
Yep.
Dash Albus. I like it, man. You're good. Anybody ever told you that you favor a young Tony Romo? You ever heard that?
I have not. I'll take that though.
I think
I just saw a stat. He was the highest passer for the Cowboys, 34
Yeah.
1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
The highest,
take
most yards.
Most yards thrown.
Most yards thrown.
I'll take it.
And I think he's a pretty well compensated commentator. So, you've got this future in front of you. Dash Albus, man, good to meet you.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Good to have a visit with you. I wish you all the best.
Of course. Yes, sir.
And I think that you've got great things ahead of you no matter, You've been well prepared, whether you stay inside the chalk lines or whether you do something else.
Yes, sir.
You're doing well.
Sir, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. And appreciate you joining us here on Abilene People. And boy, what an interesting conversation with a young Abilenian that's playing single A ball in the Kansas City Royals organization, Dash Albus. Already got his own brand and hat, DA, with the picture there and everything. And a shout out to our producer, Travis Corrigan, always making things happen for us here at TCB. Appreciate you always keeping it on the switcher board for us here in the digital studio at bigcountryhomepage.com. I'm your host, Danny Sims, and stay tuned because there will be a couple of more Albuses heading your way here on the podcast. And we'll see you next time here on Abilene People. Thank you.